Ladies and gentlemen, the Bit of It Show.
What's going on, guys? It's the one and only Brandon L. Draper, better known as the Motivational King, coming to you live from the Start Thinking Forward studios. And tonight we got an interesting talk. We have an interesting talk, so I want to go ahead and dive right into it. Welcome to the show. This is episode number 6, and tonight's title is Creating Quality Problems. There are all types of problems that we all have in our lives, but some problems are worse than others. It's one thing to have a problem, but it's one thing to have certain types of problems. It's one thing to have a problem like you don't have enough space in your refrigerator or your freezer because you got too much food. Then the second half of that is having a problem where you don't have any food to put in your refrigerator or your freezer. There's all types of problems. So we're winding down now to the end of 2017. So this is the fourth quarter. We're in our fourth quarter living right now, right? So if you're just now tuning in to us, thank you. We greatly appreciate it. Please follow us on Facebook at The Real Motivational King. And it's the same thing for Instagram. It's The Real Motivational King. All right. Also, you can visit us online at www.brandonldraper.com. Please go. We also have an upcoming event going for 2018, March 24th. We have an event. It's called Do It Because They Said You Couldn't. And let me tell you something. This thing is really, 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 really hot. Really, really hot. So this is the conference that you've been looking for, that you've been searching for. We're going to be doing some teaching, networking, mentoring, coaching, helping you develop your business, taking it to the next level. And a lot of people right now are struggling. So let's start 2018 off right in the first quarter. So at that event, man, we got some phenomenal people coming through. For one, we got performing is a group by the name of Odd Squad Family. They're blowing up in Arizona. One of the songs that they have is Done Did It, and that's the epitome of what this event is about. Oftentimes, we talk about, people tell us what we cannot do. And that's what this event's about. Do it because they said you couldn't. Do the things that people told you that you weren't capable of doing. Do the things that they told you wouldn't amount to anything. This event you don't want to miss, because there's going to be some heavy hitters there. Odd Squad Family. Let me tell you something about this particular group. One, we got a gentleman by the name of Nubs. Nubs means normally underestimated by sight. This gentleman, when you see him, you're going to understand the importance of what's so special about him. Number one, he was born with a condition where he was not born with any arms or legs. And he decided, and let's be honest, he's a white guy, but guess what? So it's just bad enough, when Eminem was trying to go through how people used to pick on him and say different things. Hey, this is a white guy getting in a predominantly black industry, the hip hop industry. Now you got a white guy that wears glasses, no arms and no legs, but he overcame the obstacles. He overcame what people told him he wasn't capable of doing. And he started this group, Odd Squad Family. These guys are phenomenal. Then we got Frosty. Frosty was born with a condition where he was born with no pigmentation. And then rest in peace, Snowman. Rest in peace, Frosty, which is his brother. But Snowman was born with a condition where he had no pigmentation. And Lil Frosty, which is one of the founding original members of the group, was his brother, which subsequently, passed away due to the same condition. But this group is phenomenal. Then we got A Factor, which is one of the newest members. They're going to be performing these inspirational hip hop. I mean, very conscious, very in tune. These guys were told at every point that they couldn't do it, but they overcame the adversity. So they're going to be in the house. So we got a lot of phenomenal, heavy-hitting speakers. We got Brian D. Barton. We got Rob Scott. We got Emmy-nominated Pastor John Elmore. We got a saxophonist by the name of Kimberly McKinney. You got Ivan Thomas, Christopher Milton, and, obviously myself, I'm going to be in the house. And we also have a special guest that's going to be there. I don't even want to announce it. I want it to be a surprise for those that go ahead online right now. I'm going to tell you, go ahead online. Go to www.thinkingforwardinc.com/events. So you can go check out that page. So we got some big things going on for 2018. So now we're in the fourth quarter living. So let's start it off. First thing we always start to show off with is quotes. And one of the quotes I want to share with you is this. Infuse your life with action. Don't wait for it to happen. You make it happen. Make your own future. Make your own hope. Make your own love. And whatever beliefs honors your creator. Not by passively waiting for grace to come down from upon a high, but by doing what you can do to make grace happen for yourself in the now, right down here on earth. You create the luck that you're looking for. You create that. And a lot of people, we speculate and we talk and we look for something outside. We look for other people. We look for other circumstances. We look for other situations. When in fact, everything that we need is already within us. And that's what makes it so special, right? Let me share another one with you. Stay positive and happy. Work hard and don't give up hope. Be open to criticism and keep learning. Surround yourself with happy, warm, and genuine people. I can't reiterate that ending. Surround yourself with happy, warm, and genuine people. People that honestly want to see you prosper. People that want to see you winning. People that want to see you winning. See, there's times where when you have a certain level within you, like there's a certain passion or something about you that makes you very, very unique. And people see that. And sometimes you attract jealous-minded people because you are great. And if you're listening to this, you are great. But when you attract certain types of people, people don't want to see you prosper. They don't want to see you win. An example of that is if I'm teaching a class. Let's say I'm teaching a math class. And just walk this journey with me. You're in a classroom, and this classroom is full of 30 kids in a classroom. And I'm teaching a class, and I'm a math teacher. And I put down 7 times 7 equals 14. The rest of the equations that I write are correct. But the first equation that I wrote was 7 times 7 is 14. Every other equation subsequent of that was correct. Do you know people will start laughing at me? People will raise their hand. Hey, do you know that first equation is wrong? Even though I may have wrote 10 other equations correctly, the only thing that they're going to focus in on is the one that I got incorrect. And in life, it's the same thing. People have a tendency of focusing only on the negative, focusing only on your faults, focusing only on your setbacks. They don't want to see you win, and as soon as they have an opportunity to tell you that you can't do it, they're going to tell you. Some people can't wait to tell you bad news. Something good happening, an opportunity that can help you personally or professionally, they won't give it to you. And that's what I want you to take into 2017. Don't get mad at people like that because they're just speaking a different language. There's a language barrier. See, there's a language barrier between winners and losers. There's a language barrier. See, winners create quality problems, while losers create destructive problems. They don't put themselves in a position to win. I want you, if you're listening to this, I want you to put yourself in a position that you're creating, because problems are not going to go away, but you're creating problems that help you grow, that you learn from situations. You don't let negativity tear you down. So what? You may have planned for something and it didn't work the way in which you thought. The question is, what did it teach you? It's so easy to buckle down on the negative. It's so easy to say, man, I suck. I'm a dud. Maybe all the things people are saying, maybe it's true. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And I'm telling you right now, that's the furthest thing from the truth. You have to be your number one fan. What did 2017, what did it teach you? What lessons have you learned from 2017? We're getting ready to move in 2018, and a lot of us are reflecting on 2017 already. We're already planning on New Year's resolution, which I hate. There's no such thing as a New Year's resolution. It's a new life resolution. You make a life change, a lifestyle change. But now, as we draw down to the end, what are we thinking about? How was 2017? Was 2017 just like 2016? Was it worse? Are we in a better situation? These are questions that you must ask yourself. How am I going to make the changes that I really need going forward? Is anything going to change, or am I going to keep doing the same things over and over, expecting a different set of results? All right. What things did you set out to do this year that you didn't accomplish, and why? See, there's two types of people that may be listening to this message. One is a person that's going to identify that they fit in one of these categories when we're talking about winners and losers and creating quality problems in your life. And a lot of people may not understand, what does it mean to create a problem? We're always creating conflict in our own lives. Whether you want to accept it or not, we're creating problems. Problems, that's a part of life. Life is a constant struggle. It is. So we're always facing problems. But according to how we conduct ourselves is going to determine the type of problems that we have. I say again, according to how we act, based on how we feel, which is directed on how we process and think about things, is going to determine the problems we have. See, some people think that thinking is just something. It's just something that happens. It just comes along the way. But if you've been conditioned to think a certain way, it's hard for you to see the error in your ways. I just had an interesting conversation. I had a couple of interesting conversations. And one thing I always tell people, your belief and reality is two separate things. It does not matter what you believe if it contradicts reality. And a lot of our beliefs are based on flawed philosophies. And I had a talk about this some time ago where I talked about people's philosophy. What philosophies are you following? Why are you following a particular philosophy? Well, because someone told me. Or, well, this is the way my parents told me. This is the way my parents instructed me. This is what the school taught me. So these are my philosophies in life. Now, doesn't necessarily because you learned a particular philosophy that is correct. You can believe that gravity doesn't exist. Go to a 20th store building and decide to jump and see how gravity is going to react to you. You can't go against physics, the laws of physics, right? You just can't. It's not rational. It's an absurdity. But some people believe, just because they believe it, that is true. But my question then to you would be, show me the fruit. And that's not to be in some. So there's two types of people on this line. There's somebody going to identify what I'm saying. They're going to get mad. And they're going to get upset. They're either going to get off or they're going to go trolling on this and say something negative. And the second type of person is the person going to say that's going to be able to take constructive criticism and say, look, I want to take it to the next level. And there's going to be somebody going to be neutral in the middle, like, well, what gives you the right to say or feel as if that you can teach this? What makes you? I'm going to tell you what makes me an expert. What makes me an expert It's not the fact of I have millions of dollars or I'm balling or I'm doing. That doesn't make me expert. The expert means, let me tell you something, I failed a lot. I've tried a lot of things. And I had to sit back and I had to evaluate what's working and what's not. And one thing that I learned, if nothing else, is that you have to be willing to go after what it is that you're passionate about, unequivocally, without no reserve in your mind. You gotta go. If you feel as if God, higher being, gave you a calling to do something, who are you to sit on it? It's not for other people to believe in you. That's not their business. It's okay if you do something because you strongly believe in it, eventually it's going to work out. It's impossible for you to keep on working at something and you giving the energy to it and you're being consistent and you're being persistent. It's impossible for it not to work out. Now, that's just not some whimsical stuff and telling you, just believe, you can do it, all things are possible. No, that's real. But most people never push hard enough to find out. Most people do not push hard enough to find out if there's any truth in that. Because when it gets difficult, the first thing they're willing to do is to throw in the towel. I'm done. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of struggling. I can't do it. I rather settle for being comfortable than to be working towards something greater than myself and be uncomfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. It's very uncomfortable to go after your dreams. It's very uncomfortable to go after your goals, things that you set. It's very difficult. It's hard. One thing they told us, they didn't tell us anything else that had any truth in it. The one thing that they told you was, it's going to be hard. Life is hard. If they never told us anything of truth in it, that's the one thing that they told you and they meant it. They said life is hard. And life is very difficult. Life can be challenging at times. So they told us that it was going to be hard. So somehow we've convinced ourselves that it's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy. And we're willing to do anything just to settle, just for it to be easy. And then we wonder why we don't have the things that we want, the things that we need. We wonder why we struggle because we're not even operating in our own purpose. And some people say, well, I don't even know my own purpose. You were born with it. Somebody felt that. You were born with it. What I'm doing right now, I was born with this. This is not something I developed. I always was talking. And one thing my mom always said about me, I was always running my mouth. I always was talking. I always wanted to get in front of people. I always wanted to help. This was a part of me since day one. So I knew what my purpose was. You know what your purpose is. You may fail to realize it at this point in your life. See, sometimes we know things, but we don't realize it. So knowing is in your mind, you know that you're good at a particular thing. You know it. It's like going to school. You got a head full of knowledge, but if that knowledge is never applied, you never can truly be successful in the area of study, right? So if you know something, but you fail to realize it, the realization comes into action. See, the action is the realization. You cannot have any action without the realization of it. So because now the realization turns into material, it materializes. Because now you're able to formulate the plan to make what's in the mind, what the mind conceives, the body can achieve. Now you're able to create, make it in a physical form, make it something tangible. But it all starts in the mind. You know what your purpose is. But we allow situations, we allow people, we allow past relationships, we allow negative interactions, we allow non-affirming relationships, people that do not support you, people that will text you, people that will instant message you on Facebook, people that will hit you up on Instagram with negativity. And you let them come in your mind, your mental house. And they throw garbage all over. Some of you guys are even subletting in your mind to negativity. You are letting people move into your mind. Same people that would argue the point and say, I would never let someone come in my house and trash my house, but you let them trash your mind with negativity. Some people are so negative, they're looking in your face and tell you that they're negative. And I always say, if you're negative, get away from me. And I mean that because guess what? I've seen what negativity never served me. It has never benefited me in any form at all. So I don't see the point of investing in it. Life is already negative as it is. I don't need more negativity to beat me down mentally that I feel that I'm already defeated. But most of us operate in a space like that. We don't surround ourselves with affirming relationships. People that's telling you, you can do it. It is possible. You deserve it. The question I have for you right now, if you're listening to this, why don't you think it's possible for you to have your dream? Why do you think it's not possible for you to have your dream? There's someone listening to this right now that's been on the fence about going to school for almost 10 years, if not longer. And they make every excuse in the book. You know, and I wrote this in the book when I talk about people that try to put the burden on someone else. It's never their fault of where they're at in their life. It's never their fault. It's always a situation, a person, or a thing to where they're at in their life. And I've been in that place too where I want to blame other people. Well, this is not working out. It has to be this because I know it's not me. Oh no, it's not me. There's no way it can be me. Not me. But in fact, it was me. I'm the sailor. You know, I'm the one that set the sails to my ship, not someone else. No one can make me act out of character. I allow myself to act out of character. I allow myself to be put in a particular situation. That's on me. That's not on no one else. So, why do we give people so much control? Why do we give the most negative people in our circle and our surroundings so much power in our lives to the point that they can talk you out of your purpose? And going back to what I was saying is people always want to put the burden on something else, somebody else. Well, I can't go to school because I got kids. How many people are going to school right now and have kids? Well, I can't do it right now because of this. You cannot give yourself excuses to why you don't do something because it poses a little bit of difficulty. See, anything worth having is worth fighting for. There are people that's willing to fight and there's people that's not willing to fight. That's what you call winners and losers. Losers always want to succeed. You know, give secessions, excuse me, I need to correct that, not succeed. Losers, people that just always want to quit, they always want to give concessions for things, right? They want to give concessions. Well, you know, this is probably the reason why. You know, I don't want to. They don't want to go through the struggle. The pain is real. The pain is real. We all know that the pain is real. Fear is real. Fear paralyzes people. Some people are afraid to love. Some people are afraid to care. Some people are afraid to start a business. Some people are afraid to be themselves because they've always saw their life as, what if someone doesn't like it? What if someone disagrees with it? What if someone, you know, there's a whole lot of what if. What if you do what you are purposed to do and you live the best life you ever could live because you got away from what everyone else thought about it? Everyone else is not living your life. Everyone doesn't have the same heartbeat in your chest. You got that heart. That's your heart in your chest. They don't have that same heartbeat. How can they live for you? They got their own life. They got their own body. They got their own shell. Stop trying to live through other people and dang on sure make sure other people don't try to live through you. Just think about that for a second. Don't let other people live through you, but you don't try to live through other people. Best piece of advice ever There are all types of problems. How do you create the best problems for yourself? First of all, you got to stay positive. You got to look at all situations. It's not necessarily a negative, but it could be a learning experience for you, taking it to the next level. We're in the fourth quarter. There's some people right now figuring out how they're going to handle Christmas. You know, people are figuring out how there's some people that's, you know, worried about how they're going to have toys for their kids. And there's somebody out there with a problem figuring out how they're going to put food on the table for their kids. They're not thinking about Christmas. They're thinking about, how am I going to eat? How's my family going to eat? How are we going to survive? How are we going to keep the power on? How are we going to keep a roof over our head? That is their concern. That is their concern. And you want to create the right constructive problems for yourself. You're going to have problems. So make sure you're sculpting those problems in a way that is conducive for you to grow. You know, there's people that put on events. Event doesn't go the way you want it. Oh my God. You know, we get it. But what did you learn from that? What did you take from that experience? How can you grow? You know, on our logo, we say don't go through it, grow through it. You went through a situation. You feel as if mentally you went through a situation, but don't look at it as if you went through a situation. You're going to grow through that situation. You're going to learn. It's going to make you better for the next time round. This is the fourth quarter. A lot of people are giving up. See, during this time of the year, this is the suicide rate increases. And sad to say, I had someone very close to me, and just for, you know, I don't want to disclose any names or anything like that. Someone very close to me committed suicide within the last couple of weeks, you know, and it really touched me to my core. Because you never know what's going on in someone's mind, what they're going through. The pressure might be, you know, so surmounted so much that they're just ready to give up. So always be willing to give people an encouraging word. When I get on this platform, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about anything about me. I want to help change people's lives. I want to help people grow their business. I want people to grow professionally. I want people to grow personally. I want people to not have to experience some of the pains that I went through when I first started. It sucked. You know, through this whole process, I've been through so many things. I've been through a divorce. I've been through pain. I've been through destruction. I've been through homelessness. I've been through just being dead broke. I've been in the process of having family turn their back on me. The whole nine. But still, I stand. I'm still here. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, and some of you guys have way more talent and maybe even ambition than me, and if I can do it, why not you? Why not? Do it because they told you couldn't. So what? So what you didn't get accepted to the college you wanted to 20 years ago? So what you had a child a little bit earlier than you anticipated? So what? So what they told you wasn't going to amount to anything because you had some issues and some problems that came along in your life. Some things, some setbacks, some temporary setbacks that came. And just because those setbacks came, they decided to tell you that it wasn't going to work for you. Like they live in your life. But only you can do that. You make the decision. How are you going to internalize that? Are you going to accept defeat in your mind and say what they're saying is true? Or are you going to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to make it? See, the thing about faith is going out there and say, man, look, I don't even know how this is going to work. I don't know how it's going to work. But how many people even say that? That's the first step is saying, look, I don't know how this is going to work. But I got to go out here and make it happen one way or the other. I just can't accept defeat. Let me tell you something. My first year in Morehouse College, I'll never forget it. Had a roommate, he was from Trinidad, and I wish I could run into him one day. I don't think I know his first name is Dan. I don't remember his last name. Dan was a dual engineering major. He was going to Georgia Tech and Morehouse at the same time. I was doing everything during final exam week except what I was supposed to do. And I had a little smart mouth, and I said to him, I said, look, man, you sitting up here studying to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5, I'm waking up, and you still up. I'm going to the bathroom, you still up. I'm like, man, either you got it or you don't at this point. And I never forget what he told me. He walked over to me. He took his glasses off and said, let me tell you something, man. He said, you got options. And I was shocked because I never seen him speak in such a harsh tone. He's always a soft-spoken guy. And he said, you got options. He said, I don't. He said, you got an option to fail. You got an option to succeed. I only got one option, and that option is to succeed. And the only thing I could utter out of my mouth, because I was in total shock, was, what do you mean? He said, see, I'm not going back to Trinidad. I'm not. I have to make it. There's no option. He said, see, if you fail, you got your mama, you got your daddy, you can go, you got family. I don't. This is my only way out. So at that moment, I look back at it, he felt as if he was a animal in a corner. There's nowhere to run. See, when you make that decision and say, look, I don't got nowhere else to go. I got to do something. Sink or swim. He decided he was going to swim no matter what. He was coming up out that corner. And at the end of the day, guess what? I acted just like I did because guess what? I knew I had options. I didn't take it as serious as I should have because guess what? I got options. I could have technically, if you look at it, and this is not a good way of looking at somebody, you can say, well, I could have afforded to drop. No one can afford to drop out of school, but I could afford to drop out of school. Well, he couldn't. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I did have family. I did have a mother. My mother was still alive at that time. So I had a plan B. I had a plan B on the table. He didn't have a plan B. There was none. He only had one option. And he graduated. So what are your options? Are you giving yourself excuses? That's your option. Well, if it don't work, it don't work. I'll be all right. Hey, you know, what are we conditioned to think? What are we conditioned to think? Why are we conditioned to think these certain ways? Why are we conditioned to think it's okay to work for 20, 30 years, catch arthritis in your knee, ankle, and back, mess around and get hurt, got to collect disability, which, what, $980 a month, if that? $700 to $900 a month? Who can live off of that for 20 years? What if you live 20 years? Hey, people telling people like that, you better work, get your stuff established so you can collect Social Security. What you mean? We don't even know if Social Security is going to be here, and if it is, who can live off of that 20, 30 years from now? You can live off of $900, $1,000 a month? You think about, take yourself to New York and see how much $900 takes you. $980, $970, $980 takes you. You'll be going straight from wherever you at, back in the U-Haul up to the shelter. Automatic. Let's be real. And let's think about our future and what we really want out of this life. Do you want more? Or are you just trying to psych yourself out because you feel like you can't get more, so you psych yourself out to make yourself feel that it's okay? But guess what? I'm here to tell you. You may psych yourself out mentally, but your heart is not. That's why you can't sleep at night. Because your heart's not in love with the idea of you being less than what you're capable of. You're lying to yourself. You can trick yourself mentally, but your heart is one thing you can't lie to. Your heart will never steer you wrong. Now, when you try to, now a lot of people out there, oh no, I know, I've been in a situation before. Let me tell you something. Now, that wasn't your heart. That was your head trying to convince your heart. Once again, something in your heart told you something was wrong with the situation. But you convinced yourself once again that it was. The heart never lies. Don't confuse your heart with your head. It's two different things. All right? Now, I ain't no relationship guru, but we are going to have, this week right here, we're going to have a relationship coach. Matter of fact, she's getting ready to come out with her, I'm not quite sure. She already had a book signing, but she's going to be on the show this week, going to talk to us a little bit about her book, talking about the dynamics of relationships. So it's going to be interesting. But like I said, I don't dive deep in that. I don't think I'm not a subject matter expert in relationships. I think there's certain things you got to do and have a certain type of life. And I'm not no charlatan, so I don't set myself out to talk about things. I'm learning myself. I'm a student of life. I'm a student of love. I'm a student. I haven't gotten my degree in that. I'm sucking my thumbs when it comes to love and relationships and stuff like that. And I think a lot of us, age has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with experience and getting people to really sit down and talk to you about their experiences, especially people that have been in long relationships, people that's been in business for a long period of time. All this stuff is just on experiences, and that's what I'm going to bring. That's why I'm bringing to you different experiences from different people. So it's not just going to be me coming to you with this particular flow. We want to change it up. We want you to tune in. We want you to share this with other people and let them know what the Start Thinking Forward radio show is about. This is about changing and transforming people's lives. We want to change the dynamics of people's lives every single day. Pain and suffering is at an all-time high. We are trying to alleviate that. The reason I do this, if you're trying to figure out what my motive is, what my edge is this. I don't know who I may save. There may be someone listening to this right now, and if it is you, I want to talk tonight. I don't want to communicate to you. I want to connect with your spirit and tell you that it's possible, that you can get through this pain and struggle. I know. I've been there. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, send me an email at info@thinkingforwardinc.com. I'm here, and I want to help you. If you're going through an issue and you really feel like it's getting to the end, I'm not no licensed therapist. I'm not any of those things, but I have a heart and I'm a human being, and that's how I pay my rent every month. And when I say rent, guys, I'm not talking about the rent where you stay. I'm talking about the rent on this earth. See, sometimes you got to do things. You should do things not because there's money attached to it, not because there's some benefit behind it. You should do it because it's the right thing to do, man. I don't know how else to say that. As a human being on this earth, it's just the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do to have a heart and care for people. I think we have enough evilness in this world. We have enough wickedness in this world. We got enough people tearing each other down in this world. I don't want to be a part of that equation. I want to be a part of the winning equation. I want to be a part of the equation that I'm able to uplift somebody. Someone right now that may need to hear this. In their closet. I was in the closet on my knees crying because I didn't know what in the world was going on. I had no control of it. I was losing things. I was losing people, and I didn't know where to look. And I was hurt, right? I was broke, but I wasn't broken, right? And it's a difference. I was broke, but I wasn't broken. And I want you guys to know there's a big difference in that. It's all right to be broke, but not necessarily broken. And that's the part I want to bring to you tonight, is that you may be broke right now. You may not have the money that you need to be able to hand for your kids. You may not have the money to do whatever it is you want to do. You might not even have the money to pay for your rent. You may not have the money to pay for your mortgage, your car note, or whatever it is. But I'm telling you right now, you are broke, but you are not broken. You can think yourself up out of that problem. So tonight I want to leave you with those words. I want to leave you with that level of encouragement to tell you that it's possible if you believe. You can change your life overnight. You can change your life 24 hours. Don't let the negativity, don't let that voice that's going on in your head steer you wrong and make you think that you're less because you're going through a particular situation. Don't allow that to happen. You need to get around people that are positive, that's going to affirm you and let you know that you're going to make it out of the situation, that it's going to be okay. There's people that you can identify with, people that have been in the same situation, if not worse. There's no reason to take your life. There's no reason for you to take it to the extreme. Talk to someone. Talk to me. Again, that's info@thinkingforwardinc.com, or you can go to www.brandonldraper.com. Reach out to me. I'm not a distant person. I don't care what you may think on Facebook, whatever you may think of me, that I'm this and I don't care about that. I'm here to serve the people. I'm here to serve you. And if you got a problem, hey guys, I'm only one person. But at the same time, if you got a problem, I'm willing to talk to you about it. It's never that bad. It can never ever get that bad. There's a national hotline. You also can call 1-800-273-8255. Then that's the National Suicide Line. Talk to someone about it. Do not do that. This is a time of the year so many people lose their lives. Self-inflicted wounds. They hurt themselves because they think they can't deal with it no more. I'm pleading with you. Talk to someone. Share this with someone right now. Share this broadcast with someone. It could change their life. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. Tell me about what you want to talk about. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. We're getting closer and closer to 2018. And I want everyone to win. Let's have tunnel vision and have everyone wanting to win. I don't want to see no one tore down or in destruction for 2018. Let's go ahead and finish off the fourth quarter right. And let's go ahead and start the first quarter off right. Let's kick it off big like we've never done before. Hey guys, this is the one and only Brandon L. Draper, better known as the Motivational King. Don't believe me? Just keep watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bit of it show.